Hey guys, it's Kat and I'm back today for a sort of, a concept that I sort of came up with because I've been thinking about this idea for a while and I thought I'd do a video on it. So what this video is about is it's sort of like my everyday makeup routine if I no longer became a makeup junkie. So if for whatever reason I decided to give up my YouTube channels and not buy new makeup and not play with new makeup and not always change the color of my eyeshadow and the lipstick because I'm sort of experimenting with things and I like to keep things different. If it wasn't for that, what would my sort of signature makeup look be? So what you see people that have like a makeup bag that might be like this big and they just use the same products every single day. And so I was thinking, okay, out of my makeup collection, what would the products be that would make up my signature everyday look? And then what would I maybe throw into the mix to make it sort of an evening look or a going out, a little bit special occasion look? So that's what I'm doing today. And the reason I had this idea was that I recently got the Tarte Aspen Ovard palette and I took it traveling with me, like just, weekend away and whatnot. And I really enjoyed using it and I thought it's so basic, really easy to use. This is the kind of palette that I would reach for if I didn't have a full collection of makeup, if I didn't feel like I needed to change things up for different videos. So this video is inspired by that palette, which is strange, but that's how I came up with the idea. And so what I'm wearing now is all the products that I'm going to be talking about. I will sort of vamp it up a little bit to show you what lashes I would use if I was going out, what red lip I would change to. So let's just start from the start. Okay, so to be honest, I wouldn't actually use a primer day to day. I mainly only use a primer these days because I have a lot of them and I'm trying to use them up. I'm also trying to try other ones and see how they go. But if I was not a makeup junkie, I wouldn't actually use a primer. For me, with my type of skin, which is oily combination, I find decent skincare works fine as a base. Primers don't really do much for me. So the foundation that I would happily reach for every day is the one that I'm wearing today. It's the Too Faced Peach Perfect Foundation. My shade is Nude, and I just really like this because I find that it's comfortable to wear. If you set it down with a powder, it sets quite matte and it wears all day. I've been wearing this all day and it wears really, really well. You get a lot of product in here. It's 48 mils, so I think it's a really good foundation. The only problem I ever have with this is sometimes it's hard to touch up because it sets so well that it sort of doesn't like to touch up, it sort of lifts. But I did touch up my nose and my chin today and it works a treat. So if you're careful, it does work well. And I find that if you use like a mattifying primer or you use like a setting spray, it often makes it lift more. But with like a hydrating spray or a hydrating primer or just no primer, I find this works a lot better. So I would just use this every single day. And then in summer or in winter, I would probably tweak it with these drops. Now, I really like these drops. They're really, really great. So these are the Ulta 3 Lightening and Darkening drops, and I just find that they work really well at just tweaking a foundation shade. So I would probably just stick to the same shade, and then winter, lighten it, summer, deepen it if need be. And that's probably what I'd wear all the time, happily. Now, the concealer that I pretty much always want to reach for is my Tarte Shape Tape. Now, this has decent coverage. I wouldn't say it's too full coverage, but I like that because it looks a little bit more natural. I use a small amount around my nose in the corner here and I blend it out with a sponge. And I just think that it works really well. It doesn't like emphasize any lines on me. It doesn't crease. I just think it works really, really well. So for me, this is the one I keep reaching for. I've got a bunch of concealers. Often I try them and then I'm like, oh, I don't like the look of that, and I'll put this over the top. So for me, it would be Tarte Shape Tape. I was always going to say Shart. It's not Tarte Shape Tape. And my shade is light neutral. So that's what I would reach for every day happily. And I pretty much do. Then I do have to set it. I've got oily T-zone, so I do want it to set my makeup, and a powder that I really love. Too Faced Just Peachy, or Peach Perfect, that's what it is. Peach Perfect mattifying loose setting powder. What I really like about this, once again, you get heaps of product. So this is 35 grams, which is massive. It's a very, very finely milled powder. I find that I can set my concealer without it looking too cakey. I feel like it sets my face really well, and it's not so mattifying that your face feels dry. I have other mattifying powders where my face just feels like all the moisture has been sucked out of it. This is very, very nice. It gives you that matte sort of finish without it being too drying. So I really like this for under the eye. I like it for all over the face. I would repurchase that time and time again. And yeah, I love that. If I was to chuck something in my handbag, I'd probably go with something more pressed. And a pressed powder I really like is the Soap & Glory One Heck of a Blot. What's great about this is that it's sort of translucent. It doesn't actually deposit much color, and it does just sort of mattify the skin a little bit. I'm trying to open it without ruining my nails that I just did. Oh, no. Stuff that up. But yeah, it's just a basic powder, and I think it's a really handy one to just like blot your face during the day. Okay, so I do tend to like bronzing my face, and I don't really like to contour too much, but I do like to bronze, like get a fluffy brush and just sort of bronze the perimeter of my face just to give it a bit more dimension and make it not look so like flat, because the foundations that I do tend to wear are like medium to full coverage, so I feel like you need to put some color back into your face. And a bronzer that I would be happily wearing every single day. And once again, this is a different sort of concept. These aren't my all-time favorite products, but these are products that I just think work really well and are really simple and easy and give a good effect. So this is not the best bronzer I've ever tried, but it's one that I have used up in the past and I consistently just like reaching for. And it's the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and this is this is just a chocolate shade. I think there's like light chocolate. So this is the powder here. I'm wearing it today. I do actually like a slightly warmer matte bronzer. Nothing orange, but I like the tone of this because I find on my skin, if I use something too cool toned, it looks dirty. So I do like something to warm up the face a little bit. And this is a great product. It's very, very easy to use. It blends really seamlessly. You can like chuck it on and it doesn't look like you've got patches. So this is one that I'll happily reach for every single day. Another one that I do like, and I was tossing up between the two, is Benefit Hoola. And the only reason I decided against this one is because it is a little bit more cool toned. So for me, this doesn't really warm up the face as much. It just gives dimension. And I do prefer that warm effect all year round. This is more of a sort of winter thing for me. So sort of like a similar thing. It just blends really easily, easy to use. But I picked the Too Faced one over it just because it's a little bit warmer. Okay, this is going to be a bit surprising. If I was to pick a type of blush, and this is just to represent other blushes that I have, and I don't actually wear this type of blush all the time, but I know that I really like the effect of it. I've got one from Pixie. I've got other ones, so you can get dupes of this everywhere. But this is the Sleek Rose Gold Blush. So this is one that I've had for ages. I have hit pan on it. It sort of looks peachy, but it's got a pink base with a gold shift. So I would go for a pretty shimmery blush. So yeah, I know a lot of people love matte blushes, and I like a matte blush too. But if I wasn't sort of a makeup junkie and I was just reaching for something every day, this gives such a beautiful look to the skin. So I'm actually wearing it today with no highlighter. So you can just see that it gives a bit of color to the cheeks, and it's got that kind of glow. I wish I had a brush with me so I can put more on, but yeah, it's just one of those things you can just quickly put on, give a bit of color to the cheeks, give a bit of glow without it being too over the top. So yeah, that'd be a blush that I would happily wear every single day and repurchase time and time again. And I just thought I'd swatch it for you so you can see that it's got a pink base, but it looks quite peachy on the skin because it's got that gold shift to it. And I just think it gives the skin a really healthy glow. This is quite a heavy swatch, but yeah, blended out, it looks a lot more sort of just nice and glowy. Okay, you'll notice that I have skipped highlighter because on a daily basis, I wouldn't wear a highlighter if I wasn't a makeup junkie. Once again, I feel like I wear them because I've got so many of them. But if you stripped everything back, I would probably only wear a highlighter when I'm going out in the evening. So this amount of glow, it would be my blush and highlighter in one. So yeah, I wouldn't actually wear a highlighter. So let's jump to brows. Now, on a daily basis, I would just wear a brow pomade. This one is the Benefit Ka-Brow in the shade 3.5. It's one of the new neutral shades. And the reason I picked this one, so I'm wearing it today, is it matches my hair really well. I like number 2 for when I'm not wearing much makeup and just want to look like I'm put together a little bit. And number 4 is a little bit deeper for me, so it's more of a statement brow. So I picked 3.5, which is a neutral, and I really like this pomade because for me, I sort of see it as being a grippy powder. So I like the look of a powder brow, but you want it to stick. Now this pomade is a drier pomade, so it's not like the Anastasia Beverly Hills ones where it's almost like paint and you're painting your brows. This is like, a sort of wetter, a grippier, wet sort of brow powder. So you can put it on a little bit softer, but it still sticks to the areas that doesn't have hair. So I really love this particular brow pomade. It's also good because it's got a little angle brush in the lid. So if you didn't actually have an extensive range of brushes, this is a really good one. I love it. I'm wearing it today. And then if I wanted to mimic some hairs or do some fine like definition, I would use the Benefit Precisely My Brow, and this is in shade 4, so it's a little bit darker than that, but I use that just to sort of mimic some hairs, maybe define the end a little bit. So that would be a daily basis thing. This would be if I want to look a little bit more put together. And then lastly, I would use the 24-hour brow setter, which is a clear brow gel, and I use this if I think my brows are a little bit unruly and I want them to just kind of stay in place. So I love Benefit brow products. I'm actually trying to pan all my other brow products so I can just exclusively use these 3 products because I love them, and I've got them in different shades. So this would be my 3-step for an extensive brow, but to pare it back, I'll just use this. All right, now for eyes, and even if I was not putting much effort into my eyes, I always use a primer because I don't see the point of using an eyeshadow if it's not going to stay. Like, why put all the effort in putting an eyeshadow on if it's just going to crease or, look like it's faded throughout the day? So I would always go in with an eyeshadow primer, even though I don't use face primers. And my favorite one is a MAC paint pot. I just really like it. It works so well for me. This is in Painterly. It's just a nice sort of pink toned nude shade. I love it. Yeah, it is the one that I would go for. If I had all the options in the world, this is the one that I would keep using. Then when it comes to eyeshadow, so I was thinking of this one, but I decided to go a little bit more old school. This one for me is where, like, I always look back and go, this is the heyday of Bare Minerals. This is a Christmas palette, so it's discontinued, but this is the Bare Minerals Regal Wardrobe palette. So if you open this up, it's got a mirror, but it's got 8 eyeshadows and some face powders. Now, I wouldn't even bother using this. I would use it, like if I was like, oh, I need a purple blush for some reason, or a matte peachy pink blush, I would use it, but I mainly would use it for these eyeshadows. Now these eyeshadows are fantastic. It's pretty much everything I need on a daily basis. I've got 2 mattes, sort of like one peachy cream, one off-white, a warm tone transition, a cool tone transition, a bronze, a taupe, and then you've got more of a, more of a smokier bronze, cool tone bronze, and then more of a sort of dark purple color. So for me, this would be like summer, winter. I'd mix and match. I would use them all. So maybe the only thing I would change in this is, so some of these are a little bit repetitive, but I wouldn't use this one so much. I'd prefer like a deeper sort of matte color to just smoke it up a little bit. But today I'm wearing those 3 shades. So that just to set my base, that all over the lid, and that to sort of in the crease. And that's sort of exactly what I'd wear every day if I had to pick like a signature look. Bronzy sort of beautiful shimmery shade, and then a couple of mattes just to blend it out and make it look a little bit more, put together. Also, the quality of these are super beautiful. So for me, it's about, something that you can apply really easily, get a nice effect, blends out really nicely, easy to use, looks great on the eye. So for me, it would be something like this, something really simple. And let's just do some swatches. So that's the bronze that I've got on my eyes today. This is one of the taupe kind of colors. It's just a nice purpley taupe. And that's a matte, sort of the cooler matte transition. So they just work really easily. So I could very easily just have like even a quad of like a shimmery bronze, a matte cream, a transition color, maybe slightly darker color. That's all I really need, but I picked this one because I really love the quality. I like the variety, and it's just, a really basic palette that I could easily wear all day, every day. Okay, when it comes to liner, I don't know if you noticed, I always put color on my waterline, and then I often use a gel liner. Now, the one I used today is by MAC, and this is in the shade Past Twilight, which is sort of like this kind of wine color, I don't know, like a blackened wine brown. And it's only because I don't currently have black tracks. If I was to have one gel liner, it would be black tracks. So it'd be MAC Fluid Line in black tracks, which is the matte black one. Now I have actually used a full one up before, and you might be thinking, Kat, I know you love the Inglot ones. Why wouldn't you pick the Inglot one? And the reason I wouldn't use the Inglot one as just a daily basis thing is because even though those are very, very pigmented, and for colored liners, they are fantastic, but they do dry out pretty quickly. So if you're using a liner pretty much every single day, it'll start to dry out within 6 months. You need to buy Duraline to rehydrate it every day, and it's a bit of a pain in the ass. Whereas I had MAC Black Tracks for about 5 years. It stayed creamy to the very last drop, and it was very, very easy to apply. So if I was to choose makeup that I wanted to use every day, it would be something a lot more simple, something that's creamy, something that won't dry out. And I know MAC Black Tracks is phenomenal for that. I've had this one for years and years as well, never had to rehydrate it. So even though I don't love MAC colored liners, I think their black liner is one that I would repurchase time and time again if I didn't have other black ones that I'm currently using. So yeah, this sort of represents black tracks, even though it's a more of a brownie wine color that I'm wearing today. Okay, so the liner that I would wear on my waterline, and I actually wear it on my waterline pretty much every day, and I think this is the third one I've had, and I need to probably buy another one soon. It's by Rimmel, and it's a Scandalized Kohl Kajal liner in brown, so 003 brown. It's just like a shimmery brown, but I find that, yeah, it stays on really well. It's super creamy to put on, and I find that it just makes my lashes look a little bit more full by just adding a bit of color. So for me, I like lining my waterline, but I don't like using a stark black most of the time. But this shimmery brown's beautiful, and yeah, I use it every day. So I would use it every day. Okay, when it comes to mascara, I think I'm the type of person that likes to try new mascaras all the time. Some that I've loved in the past, I love mascaras from Lancome. I love mascaras from MAC. I really liked the Maybelline Lash Sensational, so I would just have a good mascara. Currently, I'm using the Balm Mad Lash. I really like that one as well. I'm wearing it today. No lashes. I think, yeah, as long as I've got a good mascara, I would just use whatever. I wouldn't necessarily repurchase the same one each time. I would probably try something new, but I would try for a decent quality one, so I'm not fighting with my mascara wand every day. Okay, so if I had to pick lip products to wear every day, I would probably choose a nude. I love a red, but I've got a red that I'll show you as like my going out kind of color. But if I had to pick a nude every day, the one that I'm currently wearing, which is just a beautiful glossy nude, is by Linda Hallberg. Now this is in the shade Pink Opal. It's one of their Fantastick lipsticks. It's just a very beautiful glossy sort of sheer nude. And this is something I'd wear every single day. But in saying that, if I wasn't a makeup junkie, I probably wouldn't order makeup online as often as I do. And so I probably wouldn't go to the effort to order this unless I could find it in store. So an alternative to this would be my Revlon, I don't even know what these are called, Ultra HD Gel Lip Colors. So these are a similar thing. They're quite a pigmented, shiny lip product. So that looks like this. And this shade is 710 HD Desert. So I would use that just as like an everyday sort of tinted balm, a little bit sheer, gives a little bit of color to the lips. I'll swatch it next to this one, which is beautiful. So you can see that the Linda Hallberg one's definitely shinier and it's a little bit sheerer. That one's a little bit, got a little bit more pigmentation to it. But I love a nude sort of balmy, sort of shiny lip. That's what I would probably just use if I was wearing not much makeup. I really like these types of products. But if I was going for more of a bold nude, I would definitely go for my Pixie. This is the Matte Last Liquid Lip in Matte Beige. So the shade's Matte Beige. And I love this. I think this is like my perfect nude. And I do also love a matte lip. So I would have to sort of have both. A sheerer sort of shiny version and then a more bold lip. And I'm going to show this on the lips today because I love this. I'm going to take this one off. All right. So you can see it's like my lips but better. It's pretty much my exact lip color but just perfect. So as that dries down, you can see that it is more of like a true nude for me, and I do love a matte lip, and this is the kind of thing that if I was going to work and I wanted my lips to last till lunchtime, I know this lasts well, I know it's really comfortable, so I'd put this on. This is sort of my standard sort of nude look, and then maybe after lunch, or if I just wanted something a little bit lighter, I'd put one of the sort of more balmy lip products on. So even though I said I don't like primers, I do like finishing sprays. Now I love MAC Fix Plus. I would totally show you that if I had that here, but one that I really enjoy is the Shiramura. This is the Skin Perfector Makeup Refresher Mist. It comes in a few different scents. This is the Sakura one, which is the pink one, and it's Cherry Blossom, and it's amazing. And the reason why I like these is because I do set my makeup quite well with powder, and I find that sometimes if your makeup looks powdery, you just need to kind of rehydrate it with a nice, beautiful, refreshing mist. Oh, and this one is sublime. Like, it is not the cheapest one in the world, but it is the softest, most beautiful mist. And yeah, I would definitely just use this every day because it makes your makeup look a little bit less powdery. It makes it look a little bit more natural, and it feels amazing. It's beautiful. All right, so those are all the products that I currently have on my face. They're the ones that I would happily reach for every single day to create this look. This is sort of my signature look. Winged liner, bit of a bronze shimmer, nude lip, whether it be glossy or whether it be matte, a bit of a glowy face, but nothing too much. And then I'm going to tell you the products that I would add in if I was going out and trying to make this a little bit more special. All right, so if I was going out and I wanted to ramp this up a little bit, I would definitely add a highlighter. And I was looking in my drawer, and the highlighters that I am always really impressed by are the Colourpop ones. You can sort of apply it quite sheerly, you can build it up, and they look quite natural on the skin. So this is the shade Wisp, and you can see that I use it quite a bit because I have already hit pan on it. So I'm just going to demonstrate by putting this on with a Morphe brush. People ask me what this one is. It's E8, whatever. But I also really like this one because it's sort of like a light gold, but it's got a bit of like peachy pinkiness to it. So for me, it kind of works with the colors that I use. So if I was going out, I would just probably, add a little bit of highlighter just to look a little bit more va-va-voom. Probably put a little bit on the nose. And I would probably blend that in a little bit as well, just to make it not look so harsh. So you can just see that I've got more highlighter going on now. Another thing that I love if I'm going out is a bit of glitter, and my favorite glittery products are by far Stila, like Glitter and Glow or Shimmer and Glow. I've got a Shimmer and Glow here and a Glitter and Glow here. So my favorite ones, I've got a few of these. My favorite ones are these two. This is La Douce and this is Fairy Tale. So this one's a shimmer. If I was going out, I would probably put this all over the lid. This is more of a kind of olive color shimmer, and it's beautiful. So I would probably do a similar look, pat this on, tap it on, and make the whole lid look very metallic, because I love that sort of green color for brown eyes. But what I'll demonstrate is one of the glitter ones. So this is Fairy Tale, and this is more of a bronze with a bit of a sort of purpley kind of glitter in it. It's really interesting. But what I would do is probably just put that on the lower lash line a little bit. So it does pick up a little bit purple, it picks up a little bit green, a little bit bronze, a little bit silver. So I'd put it on the inner corner just to make that pop a little bit more. Okay, I'm pulling that onto the eyelid because it's so beautiful. So you can see all of a sudden I've got a lot more light reflection going on because of these. These are great. They last all day, they don't flake down. I really enjoy them. So they're not the cheapest things in the world, but they really create a nice like sparkly look. Then I would add some half lashes. Now I've got to show you my drawer of lashes. So this is my drawer of lashes. It's full to the brim of lashes, but the most common ones that I have are actually from Model Rock because I love them. I buy them in bulk. I love them. I probably have, oh shit, how many do I have? Okay, here's just an example of some of these lashes that I have. Like I've got a lot of them. I've got them everywhere. I've got more. I've got probably easily 50 pairs of these damn lashes. Now, these lashes like I said, are by Model Rock, and I've got 2 styles that I reach for all the time. My absolute favorite are the number, these are the 241, and these are very, very wispy. And what I do is I cut them in half, similar to this. I cut them in half and I use them on the outer corner. It makes them very, very comfortable. They've got clear, very thin bands, so they're very easy to apply. I adore them, but the majority of the ones that I have are actually these guys here, which are W376s. Now these are similar, so if we compare them, so you can see that they're very, very similar, but the difference is that the W376 are always on sale for $2 on their website. So I literally buy them in bulk. So that's why I've got heaps. When I see the 241s on sale, I buy them. Otherwise, I've got the W376s. So I literally have 50 pairs of these lashes. So these are the lashes I would reach for whenever I'm going out because they're my favorite ones. I've got higher end ones, and I've got ones from Japan. I just always reach for this because these are great. So I'm just using these sort of half lashes that I cut in half before, and I'm demonstrating it just with my 1000 Hour lash glue. This is a decent lash glue. I also like the Model Rock one. All right, so I just apply these with my fingers and I just go, okay, the part that's got the longer part, that's the outer part. That's how you just know which side is which. And then I just place them. And when you wear a wing liner, it sort of covers the lash band pretty well, but I just place them on like that. And I don't need to worry about them lifting because they're quite short, and they just add a little bit more drama to the lashes without it being uncomfortable, without it looking too unnatural. So that's just how I wear my lashes. It's really, really simple. Okay, so if I was going out, lashes, glitter, highlighter, and a red lip. So let's put on the red lip that I would reach for all the time. Okay, now this was a hard one because I love a lot of red lipsticks. I love the Hourglass Confession lipsticks. I love MAC Lady Danger. I love so many lipsticks. Like, I'm a lipstick junkie, but the lipsticks that I have been reaching for a lot recently, and if I had to pick sort of one that if I was just wanting a really basic bright red lip that lasts a long time, is quite comfortable, easy to reapply, it would be the Tony Moly lip stains. Now, I have all of them. I've got all 6 of them. So all of these sort of look similar on the lips, except for the pink and the dark red. But then they wear down to sort of different colors. So I might swatch these soon. But the one that I sort of started with, the one I've fallen in love with, is Ruby Shocking. So it's this one here. It's sort of like a bright orangey red, and the stain fades down to an orangey red. Whereas I've got another one that looks similar on the lips, but it fades down to more of a pink. So this one I love. It's bright, it's long wearing, and I find that if you don't wear like a lip gloss underneath, or you don't put a balm on, it sticks to lips really well. I love these. They are so reliable. They are the best stains. So let's put this on. And I love orange tone. There's a good like cooler tone one in there as well, but this one is gorgeous. All right, so there's that one on. You can see that it does have a shine. If I was to go more of a matte lipstick, I'd probably go more of a bullet lipstick like MAC Lady Danger. I love that. It's a beautiful, creamy, bright, orangey red matte lipstick. I love it, but these are just so great because once they do set down, they are transfer proof. They last pretty much all day. You might need to touch it up once if you wanted to, but I adore these. I think these are fantastic and they're just so reliable for me. I know they don't wear as well on other people, but for me, they last all damn day, and I love them. The finish is great. They're really, really great. Okay, I'm going to swatch these suckers. So I'm going to start with orange, which does apply quite red on the lips, but you can see it's definitely more of an orange than this. We've got Ruby Shocking, which is the one that I am currently wearing, so it's an orangey sort of red. We've got Tomato Shocking, which sort of looks similar. Tomato Shocking, that's Ruby Shocking. This is a little bit more, I think, corally, so it's got a little bit more of a pink tone to it. Petal Shocking has an even more pink tone. So once again, it looks sort of similar built up, but you'll see when I wipe this off that it is a lot pinker, more magenta. Pink Shocking, which is definitely the most pink. So you can see it's clearly a pink. And then if you wanted a darker sort of cooler tone red, there is Red Shocking. Yeah, Red Shocking. And this one is a lot darker and more beautiful, like blood red. It's gorgeous. So all of these sort of look very similar. There's very minor differences, except for the pink and maybe the dark red, but they do look slightly different on the lips, and when they fade down, they look even more different. So I'm gonna wipe these off in a sec. All right, so with a makeup wipe, hopefully you can see that they do sort of stain down differently. So they all looked kind of similar, but you can definitely see it's orange, reddy orange, more coral, more pink, and then pink pink. So they do, yeah, they do stain a bit differently. All right, so that is my sort of, you know, if I was taking the makeup to another level, this is sort of what I would use. And I would happily use every single day if I was just, you know, happy to use the same makeup every day, which I'm not, but if I was. So this video isn't so much about what's my all-time favorite products, because I've got a lot of favorite products and these are just some of them. And even some of these aren't my like all-time favorite products ever. They're just products that I can see myself reaching for every day to create a look that reflects my sort of classic look. Like if you think about Gwen Stefani, she's got a classic look. If I had to think about my classic looks, these are the sort of products that I would reach for because I know they work really well. They might not be the best of the best. I have better highlighters in this. I have better eyeliners in this, but these are the ones that I really enjoy using, and I know they're quite easy to use. They're kind of foolproof, and it's just, yeah, what I would happily reach for every day if I no longer was a crazy makeup junkie that, you know, tried to use teal eyeshadows here and there and try funny lip colors and, you know, testing out new foundations. If it wasn't for that, these are sort of the products that I'd reach for every day. Anyway, guys, I hope you found that interesting. I will list all the products I mentioned in the description box down below. So if you missed anything, they'll all be there. But yeah, I just thought this was a fun thing to do because I test out so much makeup all the time, and, you know, I do 1 month, one palette where I'm trying a new palette every month and I'm trying all these different looks. But if I just pared it all back and just stuck to what I think works for me, these are the sort of products that I'd reach for. So yeah, I'd love to know what your products would be, what you'd reach for every single day. There's part of me that misses the old days where I did just use a quad and, you know, literally pan it and buy another one and then pan it. I think it's a simpler time, but at the same time, I love playing with makeup. So yeah, I miss the simplicity, but I also like experimenting and trying new stuff. So, you know, it is what it is. So anyway, hopefully that was enjoyable, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.